Okay, so we are talking about my version of the Lost Mines of Phandelver. Um, this is the original starter guide booklet, adventure set booklet kit. Um, I used it as the basis for the game that I ran for my brother, in which we actually completed. We didn't complete this campaign though. This campaign kind of went off the rails, and I ended up making its own section of the city. Yeah. They got, they did all this Red Brand stuff. A bunch of stuff for the Red Brand gang. I remember, and then eventually they're just like, we don't want to be in this town anymore. They're like, is there another town? And I'm like, yeah. And I had to think of another town that was not, well, I guess I wanted to create one city of my own. I think I named it. I don't know why I named it. Yeah, I don't remember why I named it. So, all right. Yeah, they kind of follow uh, Phandelver until like page maybe like 17 or so. Although I distinctly remember using this Red Brand map. I think they snuck into their campsite or something, or their hideout. I mean. Well, anyways, so I'm not really gonna go through the Phandelver part. I guess they get to the part 3, or no. I guess part 2, page 20. Yeah, the end of part 2. Um, it's like I guess it's a 4-part game though. It's not bad. Before we decided to go make our own stuff up. Alright. So what happened in this game? I may have notes from this game actually. Well, not a good search. I've found a billion ideas. Idea. Idea. Another idea. Another idea. Hold on. Oh, no. 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 All this stuff is, not what I want. Wow. Okay, well, it's not in my notes, so I don't think I gotta have it. So I don't know the name of the city. Unknown city. I feel like giving it an absurd name now. Anyways, we're going to the city. I don't remember what. I don't remember why they're going to the city. Not for sure. Man, I just turned the air off and that's still... I don't think I can survive, man. Gonna have to go turn it back on. Okay. So they find this, well, I guess that's the reason why they want to go out of this small town to a bigger town. They end up finding a... They end up finding a... a meteor that comes flying from the sky, crashes into the ground, ow, and it was a, egg, some sort of egg, right? And this egg one of the players wanted a dragon. Well, I've since learned always give the players what they want. No matter what, always give the players what they want. No matter what. I didn't let him have a dragon. It was, well, it wasn't a phoenix. At one point, I was gonna make it a phoenix egg, but I don't think. I don't think I did. I think I made it a uh, elemental fire dragon that it's a bad elemental fire dragon. Okay. Uh, Dude wants it for a pet, right? I'm like, okay, it's a bad guy, right? It's not a pet, it's a bad guy, an egg in a baby form, essentially. And they were taking care of it forever. I guess I'm skipping out on one of the most important stories of the campaign, though. Whenever it like came out of the sky and exploded and made a crater in front of the trail that they were walking, whenever they seen it, like in the crater or whatever, it was too warm to touch. So they didn't really have any water on them. Not a lot. They decided to pee on the meteor. They thought it was a meteor to make it like cool enough to touch. Then they found out it was an egg, and then they started taking care of it. And they continued on their journey because they wanted to figure out what this egg was, so they went to the city so they could figure out what this egg was. While they get to the city, I don't remember. Ah, okay. Okay. There's another story. Once they get to the city, I forgot to tell you, they tricked the red brands, and they like whenever my brother and his friends left the town, they never. Well, they tried to do it sneakily, but they couldn't. They sort of got caught, so they talked their way out of it, and they rolled such a high roll that they got away with it, and they left, right? I think they were stealing some horses, and they got caught or something. But they end up talking their way out of it. They leave. They get to the city. And then the people catch up with them. And then they're like, hey, are you those guys that stole those horses? And they rolled extremely well again. So they talked their way out of it twice. which everyone loved in the party. That was a big moment. That moment and peeing on the meteorite was another big moment in the game together. We get to the city and they're looking for some guy to figure out what the egg is, to tell them what it is, see if it's a dragon or not. And they end up finding this dude at a thrift shop or something like that. And he's like, oh yeah, that's a dragon, but it's incredibly dangerous. You probably shouldn't have it. Then I think there was some like some thieves gang stuff going on. There was like a thief gang in the city that pulled the thief and their group aside and assassin. I think they're thieves. We're gonna call them thieves. The thief and the group, they pulled them aside and was like rogue. The rogue. Okay, they pulled them aside and they're like the underworld. I don't remember why I had him go into the underworld and what it had to do with the game. Maybe they're giving him information about stuff in the game or something like that. I'm not for sure how I was running them. I remember he was playing some gambling game that I made up in the thieves guild that he played. Okay, then at some point they go back, I think, to this place, to the store owner or something like that, and I think they leave the egg with him to get it examined or something like that. I don't remember. They come back and the store is destroyed. Everything's like destroyed in the store. Wait. Hold on. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me rewind a little bit. Alright, after they do some thief gang stuff for a minute, I don't remember why. I remember some church stuff being involved, like some religious stuff, but I think that might have been just for the thieves. I'm not for sure what I was using that for as well. But, okay, here, alright, so, okay. Here's what I left out, I think. At some point, before they go back, they go to a brothel. They pick up my other friend who wanted to join in for a session to see what D&D was really like. We played, his character came in and he was at a brothel with some ladies, and he came into the battle. He was a cleric and he was trying to heal people, and he healed people just like he wanted to. And oh yeah. Okay, so he's in a brothel. He comes out into battle. So right, so he's at a brothel or whatever, and all of my brother's group is over where he is outside the brothel, I think, or maybe inside the brothel. Probably outside the brothel. And then, like, a dragon appears out of nowhere, like, just instantly appears, and it is. I can show you. His name is Orion. And he has some pink frost dragon breath. He is a void dragon. So a void dragon pops up, and he's looking around, and the party starts attacking him, and he can teleport. He can do all sorts of stuff. Freeze breath. They have a hard time trying to fight him. He ends up, like, teleporting away. Like, they end up fighting him off, and he teleports away, and now, like, they're gonna fight him again, essentially. Then they go to the thrift stop book guy to find that his shop is destroyed. There's nothing in it. And they keep looking through the rubble. They keep looking and looking and looking. Originally, I wasn't going to have anything there. But then I was like, you want to know what? I think I'm going to put, as a twist, Orion there. He's dead. Like, how'd that dragon die? Because he was so powerful, you know what I mean? That's what they should have been like. Because whenever they fought him, he got away, you know what I mean? He still had health. He didn't have a lot of health or whatever, but so now the question is, what destroyed Orion? And I think Orion says something like he has some sort of last dying breath or something like that. And he says something like maybe he doesn't have a last dying breath. I'm not for sure. Okay, so after that, I think they go to the church for some reason. I know the church is involved in the story somehow, I just can't remember. And while they're at this church, I think they're like undercover. Oh, 'cause it's like I think it's a bad church. Like it's a cultist church. Maybe? I'm not for sure. No, it wasn't a cultist church. Oh. I remember them being at church, and then as they're walking out, them having some sort of some sort of like altercation with some people at the church, and then they seen that the dragon was part of like the church, like the I think I either said something about the dragon being a fire dragon in Orion's last dying breaths, or somewhere along the way they figured out it was like a fire dragon. I think they seen it was a fire dragon there too, but I don't think that they knew that I was working with this church or whatever. And I think the church might have been worshiping the god Mask in D&D. Mask is the god of shadows, I think. I don't know where that is. I'm not gonna look it up. So, this fire dragon and this church were sort of working together, and man, there's quite a jump. Because I don't remember where they fought the fire dragon. I remember where they fought the fire dragon, but I don't remember how they got to where they fought the fire dragon. Did they teleport there? I don't think they teleported there. Ow. Pro tip, I think you should leave these in the car to get a little bit melty. So whenever you put them in your mouth, you're not cutting your mouth up, because they're so rigid. But whenever you put them in the car, all that rigidness kind of goes away. And it's kind of like a lumpy shape. Not so pointy and sharp and gonna stab your gums every time you... Okay, so I don't remember how. I don't remember how they got to where they were, but they're on the top of some roof of, I don't know, maybe a mountain or a castle or something. Wait a minute. Oh! Oh! I think... I think they went to where the dragon's hideout was. I think basically they found out where the den was and they ventured to it. I think may have been what happened. I think. Pretty sure. So they fight this fire dragon, and it's like an elemental fire dragon, right? And they're fighting it. It was pretty... I'm trying to think if anyone, like, died in the fight or anything. I don't think anybody died in that fight. Wait, yeah, someone died. Okay, first character death happened, which wasn't so bad because I made all the people pick things that weren't custom characters, except one guy. I think he had a vampire girl, which is kind of pretty custom. Maybe. I'm not for sure if that's really... I don't know if that's super custom or not. And I am done with all these baby spiders just coming down and landing on me. And that big spider that other night just... This is not the best spot for the addict. Alright, so they fought the fire dragon. One of them passed away, but he had a sort of pre-made character, and then he made another character. His second character was, I let him be anything that he wanted. He's like, can I be a dragon? And I was like, yeah, you can totally be a dragon if you want to be. So he was a Chinese dragon. He wasn't like a super big one yet. Eventually he would get to be, but he was, I think it was only level 3. Or level 4. They didn't get very high level in this adventure, if I remember correctly. I'm not for sure why. Wait a minute, maybe they got to level 5? before we stopped. Um, after one of the characters, after the dragon guy makes his dragon, they see an exit to like the where they're fighting, like a side spot, and was there a side path? I think there's some sort of stairs going down or up or something. I don't remember. They got out of there somehow. I'm not for sure how they got out of there and how they got back to the city. But it happened. They get out of there, they get back to the city, and I think they beat I'm pretty sure they beat the dragon or whatever. And then they go back to the city, and now the church people are like super culty or whatever, and are trying to take out the sun or something like that to make it forever dark for the god of shadows mask. And they end up fighting like a bunch of cultists that are like trying to perform a ritual. I think it's like almost like Armageddon, like where it's like end of the world times, and it's the last ditch effort. Whenever they start fighting all these cultists, like that's what that's what they come back to whenever they get to the city. All the city is crazy, and they're getting really close to making it always dark. And there's a moment where I think they're fighting hordes of cultists or something like that. And, oh man. Yeah, okay. So, hordes of cultists. Hordes and hordes of cultists. They fought a bunch of them. I made the idea of this, I guess, encounter, that they would have to retreat. And you never, ever, ever, ever make a encounter where players have to do something that they don't want to do. I found out this the hard way whenever I almost TPK'd them. I didn't want to do that. Two of them left. My brother, his character ends up passing away. And he ends up making a necromancer character that is based off his old character. So he's a necromancer, and he's the same corpse as Tom, or as, what, I don't know the guy's name. I forgot his original character's name for this. I know Merrick Jones is his original character's name for the other game. I think you might have named the guy Average Joe. No. He named him a really good name. He named him after Batman's kid, Damian Wayne. I think, if I remember correctly. Maybe. I don't remember. Anyways, his necromancer character his necromancer character is it was the corpse of his dead character, but it had the soul of one of his old ancient ancestors in it instead. So it was sort of like Avatar-esque, sort of. But like, yeah, a ghost of one of this person, I forget the guy's name, the character's name. One of this guy's relatives from the past imbues this guy's body and is now a necromancer. I think that's what we thought the story was. Okay, after that, after I learned that hard lesson, they fought Mask. Oh, wait. They had to get an item that was able to destroy a god, right? God-destroying item. And I was looking through the, magic items in the book. And I came across, alright, everyone knows the Bag of Holding. Not everyone knows about the Bag of Devouring. And that's what I gave them. I'm like, here. They went in this thrift shop place and they said, oh yeah, this is, I don't know, some sort of magic bag or whatever, right? And I told them that I told them what it looked like. It had teeth on it and looked like it was like it could bite you and stuff. So I kind of warned them not to mess with it. And that it was like a pretty big item. But whenever they were trying to figure out what it was, my brother, of course, right after we make his character, he decides to put his hand in the bag to see what would happen, right? And I was like, are you sure you do that, Tommy? It's my brother's name. He's like, yeah, I'm sure. I'm like, I'm sure. It's like, yeah. What happens? And I'm like, okay, um, he puts it in there, and then the bag, I'm like, yeah, the bag tries to suck you in and it's pulling you in. What do you guys do? And they're like, well, we try to pull them out and we try to help. And I gave them, a roll with advantage because there was a couple people trying to pull them out. And on the very first roll, they didn't even need the second one. They needed a 20. The only way to save someone from that fate is getting a 20. And they got it on the first roll. They didn't even need the second one. And I was so happy, and they were so happy. That game... Alright, that's not the end of the game. Alright, I guess I should continue and finish the game before I give some commentary about the game, but alright, that game was hard for some reasons. I don't remember why I was bringing that up. Let's see. Okay. So, after that, they get the bag, and they're traveling with it. They end up fighting hordes of people again, hordes and hordes of cultists, and I think Shadow Mask is imbued, like he has a body. I made him have like a body, but he could like, I don't know, teleport from spot to spot, and I guess some attacks would just swipe through him. I'm not for sure. I don't remember all the the details on Mask, what I had for him. But he was like a guy that was sort of like a ghost. He was sometimes there and sometimes wasn't there. Sometimes he was easy to hit, sometimes he was hard to hit. And they ended up beating him pretty easily. And I ended up having like the leftover of the hordes come at him for a little bit because it was so easy. I was like, oh, that was kind of anticlimactic. So I guess the rest of the horde attacks you now. And they fought off the rest of the horde. Like, there wasn't a lot, but they fought off whoever was left willing to fight. And afterwards, I gave them a choice. I was like, you can either, stop the ritual, and, let there be sunlight and daytime and nighttime, or you can continue the ritual and then end all of light forever. And they're like, it was more like a moral decision, You can either be good guys or you can be bad guys at the very end. Did you guys really feel like you were good guys the entire time, or did you guys really feel like you were really bad guys, or do you guys really want to be bad guys? I don't know. Anyways, they ended up saying, you want to know what? They're like, let's just let it be night all the time. And they ended up letting it happen, and now it's night in their game all the time. And they have some, like, the city is kind of in crumbles, but it's all theirs, like, to rebuild and whatnot. So that was the campaign. The reason why I wanted to interject some of my commentary into there about it being hard or whatever was, it was hard because some of the times, like, I didn't fudge any rolls. There was no roll fudging, there was no DM screen. They seen the rolls as I seen them, and I did the math, with them watching. I don't think I fudged modifiers ever, but I don't know. I'm not really good with lying. Like, lying can be extremely easy, but I just don't prefer to be a liar, and yeah, I don't like lying. Oof. Um. I want to say another thing that we did. Oh, I found my dice. I found my blood splatter dice. I found my blood splatter dice. I found my blood splatter. They look so cool. I really thought that I lost these forever. Okay, so for the whole game, I ended up using grid paper. I got a composition notebook full of grid paper, sort of like this. This I made myself, and I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty good grid. I don't think they're exceptionally square, but I think a lot of them are square. I don't know. So we only use grid paper and pen and paper, and we only use the grid paper for combat. We didn't use it to keep track of where they were elsewhere on the map or anything like that. I think that's about it. That's about all I've got to talk about for this one. I don't want to make this another video, so I think I'm gonna hide it back here at the end of this video, because I don't. Well, I'll tell you in a minute. Hold on. Alright. So, bonus story. Bonus life story from Bobby. That job that I got recently. Really good job. Great benefits. All that jazz. Great opportunity. And I've already quit that job. That was a really hard decision to make. And if I tell you, I mean, I'm gonna tell you the reason, but the reason I seen someone getting harassed, and I seen multiple people doing it, and this place has a big non-harassment, non-discrimination, all that jazz. Like, they don't put up with it whatsoever. So I was like, I have to report it. So I reported it, and then I was afraid that I might be retaliated against because I'm the lowest person on the card. You know, I just started. And I didn't want any problems like that. So that was very, very unfortunate. So I'll be, here still keeping y'all company whenever you feel like you need some. So, until next time you feel like you need company,